Hey, what's up guys? Today I'll show you a horror series, Cabinet of Curiosities, Pickman's Model. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. The story begins with the narrator telling us that behind everything beautiful, there's always darkness. He also explains that while beauty may lay in the eye of the beholder, nobody pays attention to the horror. He continues to talk about feverish imaginations, which might actually be accurate visions. Then he introduces the story as Pickman's Model. In Arkham 1909, a painter named William sketches a naked lady named Babe who is growing tired of posing for him. He says that Babe shouldn't rush perfection, but then Babe's not-so-naked dad calls out to her. William doesn't want Babe to expose his location, but she does it anyway to mess with him. This prompts William to give her a free tongue massage, after which he makes a quick escape. Now William enters a student art prize competition, where his teacher explains that the winner will get to have his sketch displayed at the Arkham Museum, where it will be viewed by audience members and critics alike. The teacher reveals that William had won the previous prize and goes on to introduce a new member to the group named Pickman. An old model arrives to pose for the sketch, and then everyone kicks off their work. William takes a break to wash his hands, but notices Pickman's sketch, which is highly disturbing because it has rotting flesh in it. The teacher tells William to mind his own business and return to his seat. Later, William and his friends have a chat about Pickman and his twisted sense of art. William is intrigued by Pickman, so he decides to pay him a visit at a cemetery in the middle of the night. Pickman is busy drawing a dead rat, and then William tries to make small talk with him. Pickman isn't too friendly and reveals that he doesn't care about the art prize, but rather about expressing his dark perception of the world. He goes on to show his horrifying collection of monster paintings, and it makes William highly curious. Upon asking Pickman about his motivations, William learns that he must channel fear and suffering to perfect his skills. Later, he tries it out for himself in an aggressive fashion, but isn't able to achieve the outcome he desires. The next day, William arrives to check out Pickman's entry to the art prize competition, but the teacher and his other judges angrily storm away from the scene because they are disgusted by Pickman's work. William tries to cheer him up, but Pickman says that these people are not the right audience for him. William goes on to invite himself to Pickman's house so that he can check out his other work. There, he finds out that all of Pickman's paintings are highly offensive pieces of art. To clarify his emotions, Pickman explains that his great-grandmother's great-grandmother was a witch who was burned at the stake. He shows William a painting of his witch ancestor and her coven, which seemingly moves in front of his eyes. Pickman continues by saying that his witch ancestor killed her husband and offered his head as a feast to a demon monster. Things get spooky as William feels dizzy, and right at that time, the witch coven seemingly calls out to him, but he escapes before anything bad can happen. However, when he steps outside, he spots an old man getting frisky with a naked woman. The carriage suddenly stops, and William gets drawn to it in strange fashion. However, the naked lady turns into a scary witch and scratches him using her witch muscles. William wakes up to learn this was just a dream, but then he gets reminded by his friend that he has to visit Babe for a highly anticipated meeting with her dad. He quickly dresses up and reaches Babe, who introduces him to her aunt. However, William gets distracted when he sees some demonic energy around him. He tries to refresh himself, but then Babe introduces him to her dad, who turns out to be the same man getting freaky with the witch lady in his dream. William sees the witch lady behind Babe's dad. He loses his mind and walks away, so Babe confronts him. He tries to explain what he saw, but when he looks back at Babe's dad, he sees that the witch lady is actually a normal lady now. This isn't a good look for William, so Babe breaks up with him because she feels humiliated by what he's done and assumes that he's drunk. Later, William rushes to Pickman's place to confront him about the witch painting, which gives him such horrible dreams, but he finds no one there. After the incident, the year moves forward to 1926, where William works as a museum curator. At this time, he's also married to Babe and has a son with her. William is tired and wants to go to sleep, but Babe wants to do a smelly workout with him and promises that she'll be quick. All seems well, but in the process, William wakes up in an unknown place where there's a party going on. He navigates his way through the party and comes across Pickman's witch ancestor, who is having a filthy feast with her coven. The main course is the head of her dead husband killed by her. The dead husband suddenly opens his eyes and scares William to the point where he wakes up from his nightmare. William gets out of his room and spots a mysterious package in front of him. He opens it up and is shocked to see the same painting that Pickman had shown him back in 1909. He wants to tear the painting into pieces, but it seemingly pushes William to kill himself. Luckily, Babe interrupts him and decides to make some tea to distract her husband. She reveals that the painting was indeed sent by Pickman, and then we see William's son checking out the painting. This causes the son to have sleepless nights, so William orders for the evil painting to be sent away. However, his committee invites Pickman, who is now a successful painter and is going to display his collection at the museum. This is bad news for William, so he tries to convince his committee members not to showcase Pickman's work, believing that Pickman's work is full of evil. But his words fall on deaf ears by the committee. On his way back home, William notices a demonic entity lurking around him, but he ignores it and goes back to Babe. To his surprise, she reveals that they have a guest who is none other than Pickman himself. William watches his son talking to Pickman, which is bad enough as it is. But then, Babe starts talking about the seances she used to hold with her friends back when she was young. She mentions this one time where she was floating, and Pickman is able to relate to what she says. William loses his patience and suggests that they call it a night. Before leaving, Pickman pleads with William to come home and check out his work again, but he acts distant and shuts the door, especially after Pickman talks about having a chat with his son. Later, William and Babe get into an argument because she feels like he's not giving her enough attention nowadays. At night, William experiences another nightmare where he is tied to the bed and gets his neck slashed by Pickman's witch ancestor, who seems to perform some ritual. William wakes up to the sounds of his son screaming and rushes to the scene to see his window open. He loses it and confronts Pickman over harassing his family. William tells Pickman to leave him alone, so Pickman promises to do it if William comes to his house right now to see his work. Enough of him, William agrees to this deal, and he later checks out the creepy surroundings of Pickman's home. He is taken inside a secret compartment where Pickman talks about the beauty of fear. But then, he enters a room and asks William to wait outside. William hears Pickman talking to what sounds like a demonic entity, so he quickly enters the room and checks out all the creepy paintings around him. This is too much for him to handle, so William prepares to burn down all the paintings. Pickman shows up and tries to stop him, but William says he's gone mad thinking about his horrid paintings. As Pickman tries to show some more of his work, William panics like a goose showing goosebumps and accidentally shoots him. Pickman falls to the floor and says that his paintings came from his life, not his mind, indicating that every horror scene he painted is real. Shocked by the revelation, William burns down the paintings, trying to end everything. But then, a demon monster shows up from one of the paintings. It flexes its ugly demonic figure first, before dragging Pickman's body inside a well, possibly for food storage, while William just watches on in horror. He's able to make an escape and convinces himself that this was all a bad dream caused again by a haunted painting. Later, William takes Babe and his son to a new gallery, but notices that all the paintings there belong to Pickman, even though he had burned them back at his place. He then gets jump-scared by his friend, who is also haunted and has stabbed his own face. The friend says that the demon monster is going to come for his big feast, so William runs away from him and looks for his family in panic. He spots Babe and his son, but both of whom are looking at a haunted painting. William quickly sends them home and tells his assistant to burn all the paintings, while also making sure he doesn't look at them. Now William comes home and tries to get romantic with Babe, but then she is revealed to have cut out her own eyes. Panicked and confused, William demands to see his son, but Babe points to the oven and suggests something truly grotesque. The movie ends with William opening the oven, only to see his son's head being prepared for the demon monster, just like Pickman's witch ancestor had prepared her husband's head, indicating that the monster's big feast has never failed. This is Daniel CC Movie Channel. Stay safe and enjoy your day.